Alright, I'm back with another Destiny 2 video, slowly working my way through all of the things from the expansion pretty much. This time I did the cooperative focus story missions, which are required to get the microcosm heavy trace rifle, which is apparently extremely good at burning down subjugators and or possibly tormentors for some reason. I don't know if is that listed as like an intrinsic property? I don't know. Anyway, I just did it with two readers, Cosmic and Droogs, who helped me go through it because you definitely need comms to do so. Not only do you need LFG matchmaking because it doesn't have native matchmaking, but I heard people doing this without comms, but like after playing it, like that would be deeply annoying. So I don't know why you would do that. I don't know how I feel about these. Like, it's fine. They exist, I guess. It's just, I didn't really find them more compelling than the base missions. It sort of felt like they were just putting in, little hindrances here and there that was like kind of really forced co-op mechanics in a way that isn't fun. I think like the perfect example of awesome co-op mechanics is, you guessed it, Dual Destiny, the exotic mission, which is based around, a duo, and like they built the entire thing around it, where they didn't build the entire campaign around duo mechanics. So instead, you can have three people in this, but most of it is designed to like be able to be run with two people. It's like, coordinated shooting of two switches that happens many, many times, or it's coordinated attacking of the dude from Scourge of the Past with two sides. And, sometimes one person can go upstairs, one person has to stay downstairs to do like different parts of a thing. And then, of course, the infamous buff or debuff where it gets to times 10 and you just have to pass it to someone else. It's just this sort of irritating ticking clock. Like, we've had stuff like this before. But it's just like, it's even just like running around like during traversal parts or like really normal combat parts. It's just something that's always just like itching at the back of your mind, which is, I don't find that terribly enjoyable. It's just sort of like an annoyance. The last mission is the best, the final mission of the game, because they don't have that. That's not part of it at all. The first mission has it like the whole time. The second mission has it for pretty large chunks of it. I didn't really find any mechanics here that I found terribly compelling. I would have almost rather just been fighting friggin' champions in here, as annoying as they tend to be, at like a higher difficulty. Like, this is, I think it's a little higher of a difficulty than Legend. Maybe it's not, and maybe that's just from Fire Team health scaling or something, because this was harder, like, chunkiness wise than when I did Legend myself solo. And then past this, like, once you get Microcosm, there's not really a reason to run these. There's one a week you can run for a pinnacle, so obviously that's going to be something some people want. I think it's also a guaranteed red border. I think it's also, I got an Ascendant Shard. I don't know if that's guaranteed, but so they did give you a reason to do maybe one of these a week. I think it's only this 3, right? I don't think there's like, they didn't do it for all the missions. They probably could have, just because you only got to do is put in a couple Scourge of the Past guys and switches and a debuff. But past the pinnacle, past this initial quest, this just seems like something they're maybe just sort of experimenting with, and it's part of their, apparent focus in this expansion on more cooperative content that requires comms and more involved coordination than just, did someone bring anti-barrier, did someone bring anti-overload, to which the answer is often no. So we have the raid, obviously, but then we have the duo mission designed solely around that, which is sort of the gatekeep for exotic class items. But then we have this other exotic that's apparently very good. I haven't used it yet, but against certain enemies that requires coordination in the same way. This is certainly easier coordination than writing down clock numbers or debating what is a clock and what isn't a clock and all that stuff. It's very simple mechanics, but I know that this is going to be an irritant for some solo players too. Whereas like, I absolutely think like people just sort of like need to go through Dual Destiny and like just get out of your comfort zone for that, because it's such a good mission. Like, I can't really say that about these. This just seems like something that was concocted relatively quickly as sort of a new concept for the campaign and one more reason to play the campaign missions. But like the rewards for the two that are not active, or it's nothing. Like each chest is two enhancement cores and a world drop. You're not even getting like, I don't think you're even getting Pale Heart weapons from the normal ones at all. You're only getting stuff like that from the featured one. So there's literally no reason at all, I don't think, to run the other two a week. I think there's a chance to get an exotic class item from those chests, but no one I was running with through all the chests got a single one, so it doesn't seem like the chance is all that increased or something. So yeah, I'm not like against it existing. I just don't really see the point, and I probably am not going to run this again, even for the pinnacle. Like I don't care that much about the pinnacle. There's other places to get a pinnacle that are shorter missions. These are long missions, and like, they're even longer on legend difficulty. They're even longer with a fire team because of health scaling. They're even longer with these new mechanics because like if you screw it up a little bit, like you can, die, and there's light fading and stuff if you run out of revive tokens. Like, so I don't think it's worth it. The gun itself, this is not a review of the gun. You can watch one of the other 12 YouTubers, and I'm sure I've already reviewed that gun. It seems very good against subjugators and whatever, but in terms of the grand scheme of the exotics we've gotten, I wonder if this is in the top tier or not. I don't know. All the exotics are pretty good this expansion, honestly. The friggin' 10 exotic per sword, and I love Kostov, and a lot of good stuff. I feel like I'll like Red Death. I use Red Death in this video. I don't even really know why, but I feel like I'll probably like it when the catalyst hits, but it's okay. And then, of course, I'm using the Call and my boy Hammerhead. I don't know if this is the optimal loadout. I kept forgetting I'm using the rocket chest, and I didn't fire my rockets enough. I got to get used to like using that more often. So they're easy. I don't think they're anything that are, in terms, if you're worried about like, oh, what if I screw up the coordination of like the raid or the duality mission, like I get that, but like this is such basic communication stuff. It's like a countdown. It's like shooting things counting down from 3. It is telling someone you're at a ×8 ×9 buff and they need to take the debuff from you. Like it's extremely basic stuff. So if you're worried about like, oh, I might screw up the mechanics or something, like you don't have to worry about it. So you could LFG this. I would use a mic. It's going to be so annoying if you have to like emote or type in chat, or I don't know. Just use a mic. It's not a big deal. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think of that. It's obviously not a huge chunk of the expansion, but I know some people are sort of wondering about that, wondering if they're worthwhile and, what they're kind of like. And I'm not, in an expansion where I really love pretty much everything, these are not that impressive to me. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.